Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in, that maybe you're interested in, are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available. On November 12th, we have season 2 of The Unicorn on CBS. I'm very excited to, have the show back. If you're unfamiliar with what The Unicorn is, it's this, I guess, it's mainly a comedy, but it's a bit of a drama. Basically about a guy whose wife had died, I think it's been like a year, and obviously it's the whole thing of him trying to, his friends are trying to get him back into the dating world while he's also balancing that with being a single father and everything. It's a very sweet and kind of lighthearted comedy. Lighthearted. I think lighthearted would still be a nice way to describe it, but it's a really heartfelt and kind of it's just a funny show in general. So I'm really excited to see what they do with season 2. I haven't seen any trailers at the time of me recording this. I mean, there's not one. To be fair, I haven't looked at one, but I'm really excited to see, what shenanigans goes down in season 2. On November 13th on NBC, we have the Blacklist season 8. I'm super pumped, super excited to see this season. Obviously, going into a little bit of spoilers, but obviously after what went down last season, I'm so interested to see, obviously, Liz made a choice. She decided to join with Katarina against Raymond, and it's like where that's going to go. Obviously, this season was cut short. They had to, go out and they had to finagle some stuff to basically, give the show a somewhat proper season finale to a certain extent. Obviously, animating half of the episode, but regardless, I'm excited to see what what goes on this season, where Katarina and Liz's story takes, or will Liz ultimately come to regret the choice she makes? I think she will. I think there's a lot more. Obviously, there's a lot Raymond hasn't told her, and obviously there's probably reasons for that, but I'm curious to kind of see where all this goes. Obviously, Katarina trying to find that one thing that could clear her and get her off of being hunted, so and obviously Raymond and Liz have had their back and forth about her kind of doing a lot of stuff to undermine him and stuff like that. So how long will it be before he finds out about her betrayal and the choice that she made, and how will he respond? How will the team respond when they find out about all this? There's a lot of questions that needs to be answered, and I'm curious to see where story takes us this season. On November 16th on HBO, we have season 2 of His Dark Materials. Very excited for this. Really enjoyed the first season. I'm really excited to see where they go with season 2. Once again, I've never read the book, so this is my first time experiencing the story, because I never even saw the movie The Golden Compass, which is a very compressed, from what I've been told, very compressed version of the books and stuff like that. But nevertheless, I'm really excited for what we see in the trailers. Obviously, we're dimension hopping, or rather world hopping, because we're following Lyra and Will on their adventure in another world, and obviously we have Lee and Will's dad. Then, like I said, we've got more of the witches versus the magistrate, because this is all about a war that Will and Lyra will be the key to all of this. So continuing, just after the really sad ending that was season 1's finale, see where things kind of go on that front. Coulter coming after Lyra as well, obviously what that story necessarily will pertain this season. I'm excited to kind of see how that all ends up playing out. So what else we get to experience as this world and this universe expands, I'm curious to see. On November 17th on ABC, we have a new series called Big Sky. This seems like an interesting crime drama series. Basically, it seems like these girls were kidnapped, and it seems like the story focuses on 3 particular people looking into this. One seems like it might be, 2 of them seem like they might be the parents of the girls that are missing. At least one of them is, and it's just it's a town full of secrets, and it's a lot of people know more than they're letting on, and it's up to these 3 particular people to find out what's necessarily going on. I'm always a fan of stories, a town full of mysteries and secrets, and everyone's got secrets that they're trying to keep, but some characters are trying to. I'm always a big fan of stuff like that. But it seems like an interesting series. Like I said, this is all based on what I've seen from the trailer. I didn't read too much on this show because I'd rather just kind of go into it knowing as little as possible. But before I saw the trailer, it seemed interesting. Like I said, I'm just not really sure who everyone is, because two of the characters seem like they might be the parents and one might be like a cop investigating this, or maybe two of them are cops. I don't know, you know. Like I said, we'll just have to, you know, wait and see. But I'm pumped to see, you know, what the show's all about. On November 19th, also on ABC, we have season 3 of A Million Little Things. Obviously, I won't talk too much about this because I am not caught up on the show. I'm super far behind. I only got like partway into season 1. Not because I didn't like the show, I just fell behind and just didn't catch up. But, you know, with the new season around the corner, I want to catch up because from what I watched this show, I really dug it. It can be heartfelt, but it's like a heavy-ass drama because it's about the family and friends' lives being turned upside down when like someone close to them named John commits suicide, and it just like upheavals his wife and their children's lives, as like I said, the lives of their friends, because you know John had so many secrets, and just the dominoes just keep falling when stuff kind of gets unveiled slowly. Like I said, this is just based on what I've seen from the first season, and that was only like I said, maybe like half of the first season. But I'm interested to catch up before season 3. And finally, on November 20th on Hulu, we have new Animaniacs. It's kind of a reboot, which is interesting. So I have not seen Animaniacs since I was a kid. And based on what they were saying on the trailer, it's been 22 years, because it seems like the trailer is just as referential. I mean, it's Animaniacs. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff if I went back like, holy crap, but just looking at the trailer, I was like, this is wild and crazy. But I'm like, from what I can remember, and it's not much, the show was wild and crazy before, but obviously they're very fourth wall breaking, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be our first lines, make it as good as the first season. And it's like, oh my god, how much we've missed in the past 22 years. So it looks wild, crazy, got Pinky in the brain. It just looks like a lot of fun. Even them being like, you know, sellouts because they're on Hulu. It's like, oh, here's that big Hulu check for you being up here. Reboots are just you know, like they're very like, you know, very what's the word I'm looking for, like I said, very fourth wall breaky, but it's they're very conscious of like, oh yeah, I mean, like I said, they've always been like that. So it just looks like more fun, especially as someone who grew up watching a cartoon. Like I said, I haven't seen it in years, so for this to kind of be my jump start back into that world and these characters, I'm excited, you know. So I know how most people feel about reboots, but I'm still excited to see, you know, what Animaniacs has in store. Plus, I need to watch more animated stuff. I don't watch as much animated stuff as I feel like as I should, because there's a lot of good animated stuff out there. I just haven't watched. Whatever, that's a personal problem. And with that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of, that maybe you're aware of, that you think maybe me or someone else might be interested in, and don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. Berlin has something I want to talk about. Till the next time you meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good